Hey, yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome another episode of the Off-Road JAFFOs, bringing you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP.
Hey, yo.
And with me, as always, the greatest DJ in the entire world. It's the DJ Mad Sticks.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
And you guys know, probably trotting in a little bit late after a long night last night. The 610 beats from 610 beats for the Southeast, Mr. Country K.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Before we get started and stuff, I just want to say now we are live on Instagram now. Holy shit. StreamYard stepping their game up just a little bit. Now we're live on StreamYard. Or live from StreamYard to Instagram, as well as now YouTube and anywhere else.
Hey, there you go.
Find us live. You see us on there?
Yeah, people already joining.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. As soon as I saw that we were able to go live on Instagram and stuff, I was like, all right, cool. This is gonna be something that'll be beneficial. I don't like the fact that I have to grab a stream key and all that other shit, but I mean, hey, gotta do what we gotta do. But nonetheless, appreciate everybody for hanging out with us this morning. A few just recapping the weekend and everything. Matchsticks, we know you had a show this last Friday. How did that go?
Show went pretty good. Nice turnout. A lot of the artists. I was hoping for more, but a lot of the artists that performed were from the Bay. So they just don't have that following out here. But we still, it was still a nice sized crowd, for what it was. So definitely had a good time. At the end of it, picked up another artist as the official DJ. So now I got 6 artists under the belt. So it's getting busier and busier and busier.
You thought this year was tough for you. Next year is about to be fucking ridiculous.
Be busier, yeah. Yeah, because out of the 6, 3 of them are real active. A couple of them, I think waiting on projects, but 3 of them are real active. The new artist, he's kind of rolls with Baby Bash and his crew. So one of the guys from Baby Bash camp is managing him. So be a lot of shows, a lot of stadiums,
Stadiums.
Kicking it up a notch.
Yep. We're gonna see DJ Madsticks at the Golden One next. Is what we're about to. Goddamn. That's what's up, man. That's awesome. Sucks. I didn't get a chance to get down there. To check it out, but from everything that I saw from your posts, your stories, all that other kind of stuff, it looked like it would have been a wild time for sure.
Yeah. All the artists was cool. I had one security guard that was pissing me off, and he was just.
There's always one person every time.
Well, I think because some of their previous shows they got stiffed or whatever. So I tried to pay for the venue up front, and they was wait to the end. So he kept coming up to me in the middle of the show, while I'm spinning, for me to pay him. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit and count money while I'm in the middle of spinning. That's hella unprofessional. First of all, I'm not gonna burn bridges at this venue where I've been DJing for hella long. We've done all the tours there. So you gonna get paid. And he just kept coming up, and it's, so me, I get irritated easy. And then this fucking girl got on stage and started requesting music like it was karaoke night, and so security had to come get her off the stage. And there's always those 1 or 2, get the fuck off the stage before I kick you off the stage.
Oh, that's all we do. Just DJ Madsticks showing the black belt. Right off the stage.
Fuck off the stage. This ain't karaoke night. Say that shit for another night.
There's always one.
Yeah.
Almost, or at least every venue or thing that I've been to for you, there's always one person.
Yeah, it's always one, yeah.
But I mean, as long as everything went well in the long run.
Oh yeah, yep. Everybody got home safe with no drama, so that's what that's what I'm all about. So
people annoying, but there's no drama, so that's good.
Yeah.
So this Saturday, this Saturday was fun, to say the least. For those of you guys who don't know, myself and Kay are on a semi-pro team, the River City Tigers, and we had our first preseason game, Toys for Tots game,
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get them the point, if you gotta get in the backstory, you gotta let them know this is your first year in semi-pro. You can't front you've been involved and you ain't played like 13 years. You gotta give them that. Like,
Oh
if you
yeah,
ain't
no,
played
I
a
was
long
gonna
time,
let them know for sure. So
here in semi-pro, this is my 10th year in semi-pro. Oh, also, this fucking Nick broke his leg Saturday. That's it. Oh no, good. Oh no,
your audio's in and out, okay? It's a little choppy right now.
Is that better?
Now it's delayed.
Okay.
There you go.
That's better. It was better.
Now he just frozen in time.
So yeah, Saturday we're on the river, and you know, to let you guys know, it has been.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yep. Now he got a phone call.
What I was saying was, I said, yeah, I was saying that he broke his leg.
Oh, damn.
Nick, who we know, yeah, he broke his leg on Saturday at the game because he on team 2 with us.
Okay.
People stop calling on this
that's
fucking
all.
show.
That's what I was trying to.
It's fucking with my audio every time y'all call that. I can't hear them.
Yeah.
They can't hear me every time y'all call. Stop calling me. Now's not the time. So yeah, you guys can hear me all right?
Yeah. No. So. No, you come to run down and let them know like your whole.
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna let them know. I was just giving them a
You know,
reminder that we're on the semi-pro team this year, and so Toys for Tots game we had. Shout out to everybody who was involved in and showed up to the game, brought toys and stuff like that for the kids. This it was actually pretty cool to see the turnout. Of everybody that came out to support, whether they gave a gift or some money towards a gift, whatever it may be. But yeah, I haven't played full contact, full pads and everything. I haven't played that since I was 21 years old. So about 10 plus years since I last got in there and put on a helmet, strapped it up, and let's play a game. Now, I don't think, even in my playing days, I have ever been this sore.
Get old, man. That pain don't go away.
It's sticking around a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I appreciate you, Dub. Appreciate you. Dub giving the good morning to the JAFFOs. So I didn't get it. Now, Kay, I don't know if you have this picture, and I'm really gonna be fucking exposing myself here on the looks of what this. If Kay has the picture and he can throw it up, that would be great. But so
I'm on my phone.
So Kay had my shoulder pads. But Kay wasn't able to make it because he had, the car problems or something. So I had to borrow the shoulder pads. I got the paint, and the paint, I didn't have any bottoms or anything, no pads or anything at the bottom. But which was fine. It wasn't that, big of a deal. When I was even playing, the pads that I would wear weren't even, huge or anything else like that. So mind you guys, I'm playing tight end, defensive end. Okay. They give me number 71. So I got an offensive lineman jersey on. Okay. Not only do I have the offensive lineman jersey on, I don't know why it didn't register in my head. But I came to the field with a regular ass short sleeve shirt. So when I put the pads on, I looked like it was my first time out there. Got the loose, just hanging out the shoulder pads and everything. Just it did not look good. And in hindsight, that was probably the reason why I didn't get in until much, much later in the game. Now, granted, I had only been to the one practice up until now, so I kind of understood, I got to earn my way onto the field, and so that I was cool with or whatever. First half goes down. It's 6-6. People are already starting to get a little, frustrated with each other. Things aren't going the way we had all predicted pregame and everything else like that. So halftime comes around. Coach Derek gives not so much of a speech, more of a like, what the fuck is going on? We kind of get everything together, and third quarter comes around, second half comes around. Was it 23 unanswered points? Ended up winning 29-3. Anyways, I didn't get in, or probably about last 2 minutes of the third quarter and a good little portion of the fourth quarter. And before that, I had walked up to Coach Derek and asked him, because I noticed basically throughout the Trent Williams number ain't bad. Yeah, but I ain't Trent Williams, so like that's completely different. I go up to Coach Derek, and he tells me to go up to Coach Walker, because I noticed during the first half they were having problems finding people to substitute for the D line, defensive tackle, defensive ends, and everything else like that. So I was like, hey, Coach, that's what I'm here for. I play defensive line and I play tight end. You guys need somebody on the defensive line. I'm not asking you to play me the entire game, but you need somebody to take a breather, throw me in there, I'll, try and get something done at least while I'm in there. Coach Derek's like, cool, go talk to Coach Walker. So I go talk to Coach Walker. I said the same thing. Hey, Coach, you need somebody on the defensive line. This is where I knew my attire and what I looked like was probably the reason why I wasn't going in, because Coach Walker gave me one of these. You sure? Yeah, Coach, I get it. Look, defensive end, defensive tackle, whatever you need, even if it's for 2 plays. That's what. He just looks at me again, up and down, looks at me again. All right. But if we need you, we'll throw you in there. If we need you, we'll throw you in there. I was like, all right, cool. I'm sitting on the sideline, and then I look at my sleeves, and I'm looking at myself, going, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a coach and I looked at me going in, it was like, because again, I've only been to one practice, so they don't like know me like that yet. So if I was the coach, I would have looked at me and go,
I mean, all honesty and all.
no.
In all fairness, that one practice you did, so you shit. So that's like a thing. That's really the biggest thing. I don't think it was your attire, your appearance. It was really the fact that you hadn't done anything. They didn't know
I hadn't done anything yet, but the attire definitely didn't help my case. My attire didn't make it, leave it to the imagination going, this guy looks like he could probably play.
And jersey
okay,
number
your
is
audio
based
is
off of
so
the
choppy right now.
You bought some new jerseys and things like so. It's,
I don't even know if you can hear
you
me.
just got thrown some shit. You know what I mean? If it would have been in white, you would have or whatever. So I don't know. It just overthinking it.
No, I mean, I probably am overthinking it, but it was just one of those things. I kind of thought myself like, if it's because I didn't show up to practice, the attire definitely didn't help out my case and what I looked like. But finally, at one point during the third quarter, end of the third quarter, coach finally takes a look and he's like, "Hey, John, get in there real quick. Go into defensive tackle." All right, cool. So I go and line it right defensive tackle, lined up pretty much on top of the guard. And first play that I was in there, engaged the guard, threw his ass off to the side, and I was as soon as we engaged, I was reading what the running back was doing or what anybody else was doing. Running back came my way, threw the guard off to the side, grabbed the running back, made a tackle. Now, as I got, made the tackle and was trying to get up, somebody, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was, and I think it was the guard that I fucking manhandled, as I was trying to get up, pushed me back to the ground. Now, I ain't having this. No, fuck that. No. So I get back up and getting in, dude's face like, "Hey, just because you're getting your ass beat, don't get mad. Don't get mad because you're getting your ass beat now." Teammates hold me back. They already got him for the 15. It's cool. They already got him for the 15. And I'm just like, no, you ain't pushing me after the whistle. It's just not happening. Next play comes in. I think it was a pass play or whatever, but they had me lined up, or I was still lined up to the right, but on this pass play, I disengage, and as I'm trying to run towards the play, I'm in the back half of the play. What's up, Royal?
I know. I'm like a jungle gym over here. Like climbing on my back.
I'm following so I'm trailing the play. Well, as I trailed the play, Turf Monster said hello and took me down to the ground. Nobody touched me. Nobody, pushed me from behind. Nobody came up from the side. I literally just fell over my own two clumsy ass fucking feet and hit the turf. So I know for sure I still need to get my legs underneath me. I still know that for sure. And then, they put me in at tight end for a 2-point conversion. Basically a QB power play. Threw me in at the tight end position to handle the outside linebacker. And got off the line, drove him back about, good 3-4 yards before he was getting frustrated, tried to throw me off to the side, and I'm getting people. You guys got to understand. When I was playing, I was a super talkative player. Sometimes to my own detriment. Like I would talk myself into a hole. Sometimes I would talk a little too much. So that competitive side coming out definitely got me thinking like, "Oh shit, this fire's coming back. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm feeling." And then getting in number 11's face, telling him to get in the fucking weight room. That was fun. And then there was a couple players throughout the game that just pissed me the fuck off. Watching from the sideline, I'm like, "Coach, throw me in so I can go torment that man, please." They had one tackle, number 79, who earlier in the game did one of those cheap bullshit delayed chop block type of plays. Got up in a pass block stance and then went straight to somebody's, straight to dude's knees. Now, when he did, again, number 9, I'm blanking on everybody's fucking name because it's just everything that was going on. I know number 9, I yelled at him from the sideline, "Hey, next time he goes for your knees, you take his fucking head and you slam his shit. You basketball bounce his ass off the turf." That type of shit is just, to me, it's one, you don't know how to play football. You don't. If you're going off doing that, you're weak. You shouldn't even be in that position. You shouldn't be playing off the field because you're going to fuck around and get somebody hurt. And again, this is semi-pro, people. This ain't like, we're in the NFL, CFL, all that other kind of type of, stuff. Yeah, you can get, looked at and stuff like that from here, but it's especially in a preseason game and stuff, it's not as serious to the point where we all work 9 to 5s and stuff like that outside of this. So you take out somebody's knees and stuff like that, you're fucking with their money at the end of the day. So that pissed me off more than anything. And then another play, it was on special teams. We were on return, they were on punt. And dude who was gonna come, he was gonna be getting blocked, but instead of getting blocked, he went for our guy's knees to try and break the hole or what. See, that to me, if you're a defensive player and you go for somebody's knees to take it, like that's even more. And then as soon as he did that, he looked down at who he hit and then ran off to the sideline. So all of this stuff that's going on in the game is boiling me the fuck up. It is, and so by the time I finally get in there, I'm making the most of any type of playing time that I'm getting. So finally gets to the last point of the game, last minute or so. They put me at left side D tackle, and got off the line. I hit the guard. The tackle tries to come down to double team me. Now this is the same tackle that I was pissed off at earlier that I wanted to go, put into the damn dirt. So as soon as I saw him come to hit me, I threw the guard off to my right, or actually no. Had the guard with one hand here, and then I pushed most of my body weight towards the tackle. And what ended up happening was I toppled both of them over. And when that happened, I got up talking the most shit. 79, I was like, 79, you doing all this shit. I'll be putting you on your ass all fucking day. I told you this. And the center comes up, all right, second string, relax. I'm like, second string, all right, bro, yeah, it may be second string, but you're first string, and we're out here kicking your ass. What does that say about you? What does that say about you that the first string is getting their ass beat by the second and third stringers? And then I look at 79 again. I'm like, don't ever come my way again, bro. I'm gonna put you in the fucking dirt again. Now, this is where it gets a little funny. And Kay, I didn't tell you this when I first talked to you about it because I wanted to save it for the show because I wanted a genuine reaction when it comes to this. We go line up on the 50, shaking hands and stuff. Well, I get to the end of the line and one of their coaches comes up and he's laughing. And he goes, hey, good game, 7-1. This is. And he's like, hey, I just got to tell you something, man. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, you know that guy number 79 that you've been that you were yelling at and you put in the ground and then you got up and you're yelling at him? I was like, yeah. What about him? He's like, I hate to tell you this, but he's deaf.
Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh.
He said he is deaf. I'm like, coach, fuck you. Fuck you. Now you're making me seem like an asshole. I'm out here cussing out a fucking deaf man. Are you for real right now? Like, come on, bro.
Oh shit.
That pissed me off in the worst way, bro. Because I thought about it going, I've been yelling at this man, saying he ain't shit for the cut blocking. He getting on his ass the entire game, and he couldn't fucking hear me. He couldn't hear me. So now I'm almost feeling bad, but then I'm like, no, fuck that. No. Like they have teams and stuff like that, school for the deaf and all that. They know what they're doing. No, fuck that. Just because they're deaf doesn't make them unintelligent. They know what they're doing. So I'm trying to justify myself in some way, shape, or form going, man, I've been talking shit to a deaf man all day long. And it's not even the fact that what I was saying was valid. It's the fact that he couldn't hear that it was valid. So that, yeah. Yeah. And then Coach Derek came up to me afterwards and he's like, hey, man, first play I put you in, you almost give us a 15-yard penalty. And I was like, hey, you just don't push me after the whistle. That's just all it has to. Just don't push me after the whistle. We can talk, you do whatever, but like it plays over, whistle's already blown, and you're pushing me back down to that. Like, no, we're gonna have fun. So, hopefully with that quick, probably 30 seconds worth of game film that I ended up putting out there, and a little bit of that quote unquote fire that I was kind of trying to show, because I was quiet for most of the first half. Like, I had sat back just trying to get the feeling of the sideline, trying to, I hadn't said much. But again, things just started happening on the field where it was getting my blood boiling. So I was like, nah, I gotta say some shit. There was another play, like one of the dudes, number 45, he was a smaller guy. He was on I think he was on punt as well. What you singing, Royal?
Coco Melon.
But we're on punt, and he gets off the side. He throws one of our, not really throws, but our defender. He just kind of gets off of him. 45, he looks at him as the ground, and before he runs off, fuck you, bitch, and then runs off to try and go make the tackle. Well, when he tried to make the tackle, he whiffed completely. Just tried to whoop, one arm hit off of him, and he flew down. And I was like, oh, come on. You see, you cannot be talking shit to somebody mid-play, and then when it comes down to you making a play, you absolutely shaft it. Like, no. I'm like, 4-5, you can't be talking shit, and then all of a sudden whiffing on the tackle. Who, me? Yeah, you're wearing 45, right? And he looks down at his jersey, because I guess he didn't know what fucking jersey he was wearing, because he had no idea that I was talking to him. And then after that, he just ran off to the sideline. And I still couldn't get over the fact that I was yelling at a deaf man all day long. It's like yelling at a fucking concrete wall the entire day. I was basically losing my voice and wasting my breath for fucking nothing.
It definitely hurt you. Definitely.
Oh, when it comes to like the play and me putting him down, oh, well then, felt it, sure. Heard it? No. I was just like, man, coach, you're an asshole. I was like, matter of fact, you should have told us that at the beginning of the game. Let us know, hey, we have a deaf player on the team. So at least we know what we say is not going to register. But get back, I
again, why would you for anything? Why would he? Again, I'm speaking because Derek used to be my teammate, and I know that the guy he is, and the message he continues conveys. He wants everybody to be themselves. So if you're a shit talker, continue talking shit. Just like you said a minute ago, make plays. So
well, that's the thing. It
why
wouldn't
would
have
that need to be
changed
on the report?
It wouldn't have changed the way I played, but I wouldn't be yelling at him for fucking nothing.
Again, again, that didn't.
I feel like if I talk shit, like if I'm a shit talker, cool. Like, I can talk shit, but if I'm gonna be talking to a deaf man, that kind of like, what's the point? Just getting all my anger out on somebody who can't even hear me.
Have you interacted with deaf people before?
I have, yes.
Like interact? Yeah, okay. Well,
not like.
You understand.
Okay, it is so choppy in and out right now.
So
I didn't hear.
But yeah, like guys most likely not completely if he's on a football field. Like it's 9 times out of 10 that's not the case. Like even Rocco, like the guy he came in after me in high school, like he was deaf basketball. Like he was deaf, but to an extent, you know what I'm saying? Like he could hear certain shit, like he hear certain shit, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like the guy heard you. He heard your intensity and shit. You said you put him on his ass. Was he looking up at you?
No, he got up and looked at me. He said
there's a lot
something.
of shit. And that's, I'm to tell you, he probably ain't deaf. That probably either scared fucking with you, or you know what I'm saying, or the guy probably was just like legal deaf, but he can hear shit. Like he's Stevie Wonder deaf.
If their coach was saying that just to fuck with me, hey, kudos. That was pretty good. He fucked with me for sure. I would have never guessed or wanted to use something like that. But hey, nonetheless. But like I said, I I think I fucked up my hand a little bit, but it's not broken or anything. It's just sore, like on the inside right here. Like when I open my hand, you can feel the tightness. But like I ball the fist, do everything. It's all fine. My got the getting the bruises on the there we go. There somewhere. Yeah. Bruises on the arms, bruised up on the legs. Got a turf burn from the turf monster on my knee. And it was funny because getting home to, shower, get cleaned up and everything else like that. Wife's looking at me like, because my wife showed up to the game. This is the first time she ever got to see me play. When we got together, I had already torn my ACL. I'd been out of commission. I hadn't been playing. So this was the first time that she actually got to see me on the field. And, she's looking, she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm giggling like a fucking schoolgirl going, "Yep, look at this." Woo. She's like, "Does it hurt?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's she's like, "Well, why?" I'm like, but it's good. It made me feel like, one, I didn't do nothing. Two, at the end of the game, had a brand new helmet, had a nice little stick mark right on the top right side of it. I was like, all right, cool. I did some work there too. So it was like yes, I was sore. And especially after the game, when the adrenaline kicked down, oh Lord, as soon as I got into the car, my calves were cramping up. Thighs were in pain, arms, it just everything was hurting. Everything was sore. The day after, I felt like an 80-year-old man getting out of bed. I'm just slowly like, oh shit, back is sore. Just it's like people say, it's the equivalent of getting into a fucking car crash. Every goddamn play. And so am I still kind of sore? Absolutely, because again, I'm fucking 31 years old now. I'm not in my 20s anymore where this stuff just kind of goes away after a day. But even after the entire experience, I do want to
When
just
you
say, like,
train, prepare, hey, look, don't put the H thing on there. You can't do that. If you train properly, you recover properly, and you do things properly, you'll be all right. But I mean, that's just me being 34 and playing years in semi-pro telling you this. You see what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, we have a show where we have to let these people know, like, if you're going to stand on a standpoint telling these kids the right things to do, then you got to hunt it with them. You didn't prepare the right way, you didn't train the right way. That's why you fucked up right now.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it's
Well,
all
because
good.
the strength was there.
It's not like
I've been in the gym, doing like the strength was there. I knew that. The cardio wasn't. That's where I knew, like, oh, the cardio is something that I know I got to work on, because holy shit, my legs giving out saying fuck it.
Look, we when you college football together, right? Have you been around top athletes?
Yeah.
The shit that we did at City was nothing compared to when athletes are like the top dudes. Like, none of that shit we did at City was even close to, and you're not even doing as much as we did at City. You get what I'm saying? So that's just the reality. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Again, yes, you're better. You're gonna have progress. You're gonna do this, and it's your first start. So it's amazing. But reality is the reason why you're so fucked up right now, because you didn't practice much, you didn't train much. You know what I mean? Your body just went through a shock because it ain't did this shit in a long time. Like, that's the reality of why you fucked up right now. So I mean, if you recover and do everything the right way by the next practice, you should be fine.
Oh yeah, no. By the next
So
practice
yeah, it
comes
ain't.
around, I'll be fine. I'll be okay.
No disrespect. Days like Will's Masters days, then yeah, like not saying old, but Masters is older than us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just reality. If Will's Masters like in our 40s, like then I would hear you. You see what I'm saying? Our 30s, you're too close to 27 to say that shit. You know what I mean? Like you're too close to 27,
I think
20, you know what I mean, to say that.
I
Like
honestly think it's mostly because of, again, the fact that it's been 10 years out since I've actually done the activity. It's just the body getting used to the motions, used to the physicality of everything again. So yeah, I have no doubt that I'll be better when the next game comes around, or I'll get better as the season comes around. But regardless, it was fun to be out there.
Right.
Shout out to Coach Derek and everybody else allowing me to be able to share the field with you guys. And a couple of our guys got hurt real early. So everyone was putting it out there, man. Like yes, I said semi-pro but there's a goal here on this team that we're taking it more seriously because they want to ring. Want championships. And this being, one K's last year, and then my first last year back. Because again, I was only planning on doing it for this season. So
Hey, we
kind
ain't
of
done. We got the A7FL we got to get in. I'm coming out of retirement at 48. So you watch out. I'm getting back on the field. 48.
A7 gets here to sack. I might have a different. We'll see. We might get
48.
into.
I'm at 48. I'm hitting the field. I don't care who team I'm playing on. 48. I'm back on the field. I'm about to run somebody over.
Get the A7 back out. Yep, for sure. But again, like everybody who showed up, everybody who
I ain't gonna lie.
everybody who showed up with the toys and stuff, and everyone who kind of supported everything that was going on. Appreciate you guys for being out there again. Appreciate the River City Tigers, Manny, Coach Derek for even allowing me to get on the field again. I know I didn't look the part, guys, but hopefully I can show enough at least before the season comes around that I'm actually worth being out there. So before we get on to the next topic, here is a message from our friends over at Raise Energy.
What's up, Jaffo Army? JP here of the All Pro Jaffos, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Raise Energy. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time. Raise Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Raise Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Raise has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan-voted energy drink on the planet with Raise Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAISE at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know. Go to Raise Energy, go to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use the promo code AlphaRaise for 15% off of your order. Demand more, join the Raise Rebellion. UFC 300, recent, touch on this a little bit. UFC 300 has been officially announced for Las Vegas. Dana White came out yesterday and announced that UFC 300 will take place on April 13th at the T-Mobile Arena there in Las Vegas. No fights have been reported or added to the card, but one thing that has been confirmed, and this is from Dana White himself, he confirmed that Jim Miller will compete at the event, which will make him the only fighter to compete at UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. Now, who he's fighting, we don't know. But that's really all of the information about UFC 300 that's been kind of coming out. A lot of people are thinking Connor is going to come out. We don't know. Again, I have no idea what's going to end up happening for UFC 300. I just know that it being UFC 300, that it's going to be a stacked card. These last few weeks have been pretty good leading up to, but April 13th, people are going to be tuning in all over the place to find out or to see. I mean, obviously the card and stuff like that will be announced by then, and we'll know exactly what's going on. But nonetheless, fight fans everywhere, prepared for UFC 300 April 13th, T-Mobile Arena. I think tickets are on sale now, as well. So if you are in the Vegas area, which some of our, Jaffo family members and stuff like that for A7FL and everybody out there, guys in the area want to go catch uh, probably the biggest UFC event up to date, by all means, get down there and get it done. Mad Sticks, I wanted to ask you this real quick.
That's on a Saturday. That's on
Yeah.
a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
UFC fight. Okay, well, then you probably should mention that if you're in Vegas, you know what I mean, that night, that fight, the next day they got A7L football. That next day in so you can catch some games too for the A7FL. So don't forget those guys.
Make it a weekend out there, because nobody wants to go see the Raiders. So get out there and go check the A7FL. Hell yeah. Fucking hell yeah. So, Mad Sticks, I did want to ask you this real quick. We're going to touch on the NBA a little bit. As a Lakers fan, how did you feel about the banner presentation of the in-season tournament, Victor?
I didn't see the thing. To me, like, these tournaments is I'm gonna go from NBA to NFL kind of, because we're gonna touch on that. I'm gonna touch on your Niners in a little while. I haven't watched no basketball. My schedule is busy, so I haven't watched it. But I mean, it's cool. Didn't see the presentation, so I haven't followed basketball. The Lakers are Lakers. To me, it's like a participation trophy. When you win a championship, let me know.
I mean, as things were coming up and it was being basically revealed that the Lakers were going to be doing that they were going to be putting up a banner and stuff, videos of Kobe were popping up with him basically saying, I guess they asked him, "Oh, are you satisfied with He's like, only championship banners.
Exactly.
What? Nothing else matters. Only championship banners."
Exactly.
And then so when it came, social media and stuff like that, I put in the comments and stuff. Kobe would be rolling in his grave right now. How like this is one thing that it's like it should be just participate or not participation. It should be just championships. This is a part, like Matt Six said, this is like a participation trophy. It had all the feels of a participation trophy event. It really did. And you got LeBron and everybody popping champagne as if they really did win the championship and stuff afterwards. I'm just like, look, cool. You guys got to win first in season tournament. Like, I mean, yeah, that's all right. But again, this is not the big one. This is not the Larry O. And last time I checked, this doesn't count towards your championship status. So when I said that, or at least that Kobe was rolling in his grave, I had one Laker fan go, "Oh, then you weren't a real Kobe fan." What? Way to expose yourself, bud. I didn't even need to do that. Great. Cool. It's like, first of all, look, am I a Laker fan? No, far from it, actually. Do I respect Kobe's legacy and everything that he did for the game of basketball? Absolutely. As a player, I always thought a ball hog and everything else like that. I had my opinions or whatever of him as a player, but you couldn't refute the greatness that was there. You couldn't deny what Kobe was. So I have all the respect in the world for Kobe. But the reason why I said that he'd be rolling in his grave because of those videos that came out of him saying, fuck all the other shit. We want the real championship banners. We want the real ones. So for that guy to come and say that, and then after that, Kobe fans coming, no, he would be. You're the one who's a fake right now. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I didn't even need to say shit, for people exposing themselves and everything else like that when it comes to, who's being a fake Kobe fan or whatever, because I looked on social media. I've seen everywhere around. Ain't no Laker fan really give a shit about this. I haven't met one yet. I just asked Mad Sticks, and he doesn't give a shit, obviously. So
all I care about is rings.
Now, if they come out with a ring for this in-season tournament,
nah, it's still not the same.
No, the compensation for the in-season tournament is $500,000. That is the compensation for winning the tournament. And secondly, I don't think no one has really actually seen, outside of the banner appreciation and all that, like as far as the celebration and all of that, I don't think people is actually understanding the psychology what LeBron is doing with the young motherfuckers. Because you only really got like 3 people on that team, including LeBron, that was on that 2020 team when they won the ring against Miami. Like, people are really not thinking about that situation. It's like a team full of young guys, that have to maturate into becoming winners. Most of these guys y'all traded from, and they were on shitty organizations. So their first place in NBA basketball, lazy, slovenly motherfucking goddamn work ethics. So when you come here and you got to learn a whole different thing, it's like, winning that tournament makes feel like, all right, it's possible to go win a chip now, because we've experienced some kind of success, even if it's a small degree, and yes, not anything special, but at the same time, it gives that confidence. I feel like this is more of a confidence thing for these young guys, because if you look at the other reports that came out of all of the young guys praising on and telling them, like, they've been talking about that last game against the Pacers, and they talked about how he's been implementing and that leadership and the part that they need for them to get that confidence that they need to be able to be a key member to that team. You see what I'm saying?
You said this is
LeBron.
You saying this is a fairly young team? This is a fairly young team that hasn't really seen much or had any success?
LeBron, AD, everybody else is like 21 years old. Like 20, 21, maybe 22.
I would really like to know how many players on this team weren't on the playoff team last year. Because I know the numbers, they probably have maybe 2 or 3 new guys on their team from last year's team.
You can't go to last year because, again, they were fighting an uphill battle. Like that's not the that's not a gauge to see, because again, the last time they was in 2020. That is the real success. That is what you understand what's going on. You losing in the second round of the playoffs don't teach you shit that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't really teach you shit in comparison to winning a ring. You see what I'm saying? So
but an in-season tournament,
you got to go back 3 years versus. Well, yeah, but a championship is uphill. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the league, like if LeBron taking it serious and other athletes taking it serious, like yeah, because majority of these games they would have sat down. KD, all them boys, they would have been sitting down. Like a while, like all of them would have been sitting down this time. Like they would have missed more games than they played. And LeBron played that whole fucking shit, and he sat down obviously with a banner face, but shit, he played all them games. Only would have sat down, and this motherfucker about 40. So. One of the oldest dudes in the league and the most minutes, yeah, like that makes sense. So that shows your young guys, gives you the confidence, that shows you the dedication. And shows like LeBron will fucking get out here even though about 40. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole career was started before he's on the team was born. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of confidence that he needs to do. Because you got a sorry sack of shit like Anthony Davis that isn't a leader. Like, he's not going to do it. Like, LeBron has to do it, and that's the fucked up about it. And that's me being a Heat fan looking at motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit fucked that LeBron got to do all this shit at 40, and Anthony Davis can't carry his weight, but he want to talk like he a fucking super. Like, that shit's trash.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one thing. So, again, I looked at this and went, okay, in-season tournament, you get a trophy or whatever, cool. But putting a banner for the in-season like, I guess that's not really far off of what, college schools and stuff like that. If they're the in-season tournaments and stuff like that they have in the NCAA, people raise banners and stuff like that for no, they don't. Huh. Not even in college do they raise banners for participation trophies and in-season tournaments.
Well,
That
I mean, oh no,
that literally this tournament, in all honesty, means nothing. Other than them getting $500,000, it doesn't give them a playoff spot. It doesn't. There is nothing that this tournament does. It is like in and out, choppy as shit.
Yeah, they get in college. They get best.
They put up banners for those tournaments. I have never seen a college.
Yeah, the NIT, the Maui.
No, the NIT and the NCAA making the Final Four and stuff. Yeah, I understand that. I'm talking about the tournaments that they have during the year.
And say Final Four. Listen.
But I said mid-season tournament. Everybody knows the Final Four is not a mid-season tournament. That's self-explanatory. The in-season tournaments are what I'm talking about.
Dude, you keep saying Final Four. I'm saying Final Four.
I didn't say Final Four.
Bro, you have to listen. You're wrong. I'm not saying Final Four.
So the only way they're putting up any sort of banner is if they're making the Final Four or the NIT. They're not putting up banners for. They're not putting up banners for the Hawaii Open.
Different tournaments. Maui tournament, the Maui Invitational, they do give them banners for that.
They have banners for that.
Banners, shirts, all kind of shit. Like if it's the NCAA.
The shirts and stuff I've seen. The shirts and hats and all that I've seen. I have never seen a team raise a banner.
They give them shit. They get a trophy. They get banners. Dude,
I've never seen a banner.
Yes,
I've never seen I've seen the trophies. I've seen everything else. I've never seen a banner get raised.
Okay. What school has you seen win? What school you seen win to be able to fucking goddamn check to see if they have a banner? All right, so that eliminates. Like I was keep trying to get you to understand, bro. Like
Okay,
it's the first year, so we'll see how it goes. I agree that the banner shouldn't have been put completely, but I mean, it's trying to spark life into the NBA. I can't really be mad at that. Like it's dope. Like it's dope in the sense of you're trying to do something new, but it's all because if you remember, playoff formats weren't 7 games.
Okay, you're in and I'm gonna
Like
you're
when
in and
Jordan
out and stuff like that, and your screen is kind of this thing's going choppy and stuff. I can't hear him. Did you hear really anything that he said, Matt Six? You're muted right now.
Not a lot of it. Yeah, it was in and out.
I was getting the gist of what he was saying of, you know, with, or at least this is what I think that he was saying from what I was hearing. Getting the confidence for the young guys and everything else like that for the ones who haven't seen, you know, that success from, to be honest, the bubble finals. I mean, I can call that fucking participation trophy too. That nobody, but everyone's putting the fucking asterisks on that one. And it's not just basketball that they're doing it for, you know, too. They did it for, you know, baseball, you know, as well. The NFL was the only one that still went the full season. They didn't cut their season in half or cut it, you know, 20 games short or, you know, whatever else like that before they had their championship. That's why there's an asterisk on that. But I still feel, even with all of that said, I still feel that if you want to make the in-season tournament as relevant as, like Kay said, they want to try something new, they're trying to, you know, do certain things for it, you know, get it off the ground or whatever. That I can understand, that's fun. But at least add something to it. You know, they were talking about shortly afterwards putting a stipulation of, you know, the winners of the in-season tournament get an automatic playoff bid. I don't know if that would work, because you might fuck around and have one of these like fluke, you know, the team that shouldn't have been there, that shouldn't have won anything, got lucky in those kind of games, won the in-season tournament, you know, but when you look at their records, they're not even in the top 8. Hell, they're not even in the top 10 for a play-in team. You know, getting in type of, that's where you will start to kind of run into a little bit of the problems, you know, the same way as people talk about the NFC South having a losing record, you still win your division and you're still the 4 seed in the playoffs, even though your record is worse than everybody else who's in the playoffs. It's that type of feel to it. But with the in-season, Dub, I swear if they give them rings for this in-season tournament, I'm done. Yeah. And Dub said banners go up for Sweet 16, Elite 8, and the additional Final 4. But Dub, do you know if they put up banners for those, like the Maui Invitational and all these other like tournament style, or these tournaments that they have in the middle of the NCAA season? Because I've never seen a school do that. Now again, I haven't been paying attention to college basketball to that extent. I've seen players get trophies. I've seen them get, you know, the hats and the shirts and all that. I have never seen, because I mean, you may not be able to watch it, but schools will post on social media and stuff. Oh yeah, we got our banner for the Maui Invitational and everything, because it starts to bring in. And this is my opinion here, that nobody else has to agree with it. It's okay if you don't agree with it. This is just how I see it. When you essentially you know, you're rewarding these in-season tournaments. When you start putting banners up, and then you start to kind of look at everything that you have up, and that's really the only thing that you have up. Now, it could be an excuse for the Lakers because they have multiple world championships next to their banners and stuff like that. But when you have teams that have no banners, and this is the only thing that they have, it almost seems like you're content with almost a mediocrity type of thing. Again, this is my own opinion.
Getting this from off of 1 year. Where are you getting this
It's not just the in-season tournament, okay? I'm talking about like everything else when it comes to in-season tournament. When the NCAA does that, again, I've never, you know, Miz was saying it and stuff like that. They give banners for Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, the NIT, the Final Four. I've never seen the. So when you have a stadium or an arena full of banners that are only consistent of the Maui Invitational or whatever other in-season tournament, you start to look at that and go, okay, but where's the real one?
Yo,
Where's the Final Four one? Where's the time you guys won the national championship? Where's the time you guys made it to the Elite Eight? Where's all of that? Because at this point, all those banners and stuff like that are cool, but they're not relevant. They don't mean anything. It's just decoration at this point.
Where are you putting this together at? Like, I'm trying to figure out how are you formulating all of these things? Because again, like I said to you before, like, why do you not take it as a confidence booster versus
confidence booster is one thing, Kate. Putting up a banner for it is another. You got your trophy, you got your shirt. Why do you need a banner? That's what I'm talking about. You can get confidence from winning a tournament. That doesn't mean you get a banner put up.
You're upset that they got a banner for an in-season tournament. That's what you're upset about.
Mostly.
So again, in your opinion, they're supposed to get a shirt, they're supposed to get a trophy, and then just move on. That's
Call it a day.
All right, no.
That's that Sacramento Kings mentality.
It's like it's many fans saying that.
Matt said no. You don't get to say, "Oh, hey, no, this is bullshit. This participation trophy," and then come out and say that. No. No, you do not, sir.
The whole time it's a confidence booster. You can't try to make it seem like I'm flip-flopping. I've been saying the same thing.
I'm not saying it's not a confidence booster. I'm just wondering why you need a banner for it. Again, you have a trophy, you have a shirt. Why do you need a banner to hang in the rafters forever? For an in-season tournament, that means absolutely nothing. Zero. It means nothing.
All right, so let me ask you this. Are you aware that
it's not like the MLB All-Star game where the winner gets, home field advantage or everything, or gets a playoff spot or anything. There is nothing to it other than trophy, shirt. Why do you need a fucking banner?
Are you aware that the Lakers hung up their divisional victories too? You do know that, right? Like, they hang those up too.
The divisional Pacific Division. Yeah, I've seen the divisional banners and stuff like that. I've seen that.
To the conference. That don't mean shit to the conference.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Kay. When I go to arenas and I see divisional championships, I go, okay, divisional, cool. Where's the world champion? Where's the champion? I have that same mentality when it comes to the divisional shit that I do with the in-season tournament. I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. You can win the division all you want. If you didn't win the big one, who the fuck cares?
The people that's involved. Everybody that's involved. Like, they're hard
so everybody that's involved is going to be like, oh, hey, well, at least we won the division this year. Hell no. Can you ask any professional athlete and you ask them, hey, are you content with a divisional banner? Fuck no.
Not everyone that plays sports wants to come in either for the money or they want to come in for a championship. So it's one or the other. I understand that part. But what I'm also saying is these people are also happy with the fact that they won those things because they can just be full losers. You do understand that, right? Like, they cannot win shit at all. Like, at all. Like, they can win nothing. All their hard work goes to show for nothing. So they won something. They got their 500,000, you know what I'm saying, is boosting confidence. And that's the only thing I'm taking as. I'm not looking at that shit like it's a Larry O'Brien trophy. Like, people got to stop trying to compare those things. It's like Album Silver did this shit because you motherfuckers weren't watching the games. Like, that's the real reason why this tournament is going on right now. Motherfuckers was not watching games, and that's what the fuck the issue is. People were sitting down, people talking about, oh, they complain about load management. All right, cool. These
This
people
is
are
what
way
I
more
agree
fucking
with.
athletic nowadays.
And
Like,
this,
I
and
think
this is
people are not understanding that. Like, these
but
John Morant,
this
like,
is
there
where
wasn't
I
too many
and
John Morant. There's a whole bunch of John Morants right now.
Still there? Okay, I'm still there. Like everybody disappeared for a second.
I thought it was me. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, I
nah,
looked down. I'm like,
we all
okay.
disappeared. I think he probably got a phone call.
Yeah, that's like my whole thing. Like I said, my whole thing is I'm not gonna shoo somebody accomplishment. Granted, they ain't get the full thing, but it's not like the Lakers are just like the Orlando Magic. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I get the whole overall synopsis of like it don't really mean shit, but I mean, granted, like you could be the fucking Orlando Magic, bro. Like them motherfuckers ain't won shit since the White House,
yeah,
which was like
but see, here's my problem with that, Kate. That is a participation trophy ass mentality.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
hey, we
No,
haven't
it's
won
not.
shit. We haven't won shit. So hey, we're
How
cool with the division.
now
Fuck
you give me
no.
the full
Fuck no.
understanding
I'm not okay
of the
with that.
participation trophy mentality with what I just said right now. Make me understand.
How it because again, you're talking about like, well, it's not like it's the Orlando Well, if it's the Orlando Magic, yeah, let them go wild because they haven't won shit.
I
No,
didn't
they still haven't won shit.
I
They
didn't say
still
that.
haven't won shit.
I didn't say that at all.
Divisional conference, whatever the hell you want to call it, they still haven't raised the big one.
Right.
So why, and this, look, I'm just going to make it, this is just me. If I am on a team that celebrates the bare fucking minimum, just because we haven't gotten there before, so we need to celebrate it by putting up a banner. No, that makes you look even more like a loser. You are content with being in mediocrity. That's what that means to me.
Yeah,
You
I don't
won a
know.
divisional title. Cool. Did you win the big one? No. And I'm not going to give somebody a pass just because they haven't won shit before. No. Well, if you haven't won shit before, then somebody probably needs to practice so that they could.
I feel like you had this speech loaded up because this thing I'm saying to you has nothing to do with the shit that's coming out your mouth right now.
And you
I
gotta
feel like
realize
you
it's the
seriously
Lakers, so the
had this
Lakers,
speech
the
loaded
Lakers
up.
gonna do the most.
Yeah,
The
like
Lakers is the Lakers. It's showtime.
yeah, like I said, it's again, I'm not saying that if it's the Orlando Magic like no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you could you could be unlucky like the Magic. You see what I'm saying? Like you could be real unlucky. They had a top pick for numerous of years, and they just been unlucky. They ain't really won shit since the White, which has almost been 20 years at this point. You get what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
almost 20. So my point of saying all of this is, yes, again, when you're the oldest player in the league, you're a fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm almost certain they came to LeBron and asked him, do you want to put a fucking banner up in the goddamn stadium regarding this shit? You see what I'm saying? And he probably was like, all right, I'm about to fucking retire. When I leave, Anthony for sure can't carry us. So it's like these young motherfuckers might never experience a banner being raised in this bitch. So let's boost some confidence to try to go get the Larry by hosting up this Adam Silver. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the realistic situation. I feel like LeBron carried that shit at. Like he just trying to instill confidence. It had nothing to do about being a participation trophy. I mean, Adam Silver did this shit for fan participation, to be all the way honest with you. So if you want to frame it that way, okay. But all I'm saying is the reality of the situation is they team young as fuck. And LeBron is always throughout his entire career has shown before Miami, it was not so much, but that he's nurturing and maturating games of these guys that are around him. Because he's always made people better for the most part. I say for the most part. So that's kind of how I look at this situation. I'm like, I don't see it as like the Lakers trying to like swing their dick around. It's more the fact of LeBron trying to instill confidence into these young guys. Like that's how I see it. Like if it was any other team, You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think it's because of the Lakers that I feel like it's them trying to swing their dick around. That's exactly
also,
why.
Exactly. That's that Kings mentality.
So tell the
That
people
is
who's your
exactly
favorite
why they're doing it.
Tell the people
Any
who's
other
your
team,
favorite
I don't think would
basketball
have
player.
gone this far.
But you got to realize it's the Lakers. They gonna do the most. The Lakers is LA, so they gonna put anything up in that stadium they can. It's showtime. It's the lake time. Just got to get over
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like any other team, I might agree with that. But because it's the Lakers, any opportunity that they get to throw their shit on the table, they will do it.
Okay, so what if the Kings? What if the Kings won
a
a tournament and put a banner up? What would your stance be?
same thing. Who the fuck cares?
Who's all right? One more time for the people that don't know. I mean, we both know. Me and Magic know, but what's your favorite basketball team? This don't make
go into this full explanation again.
They ain't hosted shit since like 1957.
I grew up San Antonio Spurs fan. Still am a San Antonio Spurs fan.
Rival to who? The Lakers.
I moved
Mhm.
to the Bay Area when I was 9-10 years old. Got into the Warriors during the 07 We Believe team with Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, everybody else like that. Started liking the Warriors out there during that whole time. I moved out here to Sacramento.
So fucking what's my boy name?
Listening to the local radio station, everything here in Sacramento, talking about the Kings and everything. And this was before they started, showing some life and getting good these last 2 seasons. This was when they were awful. Still, 16 years of not making the playoffs and everything. Just they became those kind of lovable losers to me almost. Like, oh, they're trying. They're trying. So seeing them kind of build up and get to this point that they're at now, it was kind of like, all right, cool. I kind of like this team. Now, am I going to say like, oh, I'm a diehard Kings fan? No, that's not the case. I'm not even a diehard NBA fan in all reality. But when it comes to the Kings, it's kind of all right, cool. I like the Kings. I'll go to a Kings game. It's like I'll root for them and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, hey, I'm gonna live and die by this team. Like Damian would or Mr. Madstix here would be with the Lakers, or how UK would be with the Heat. It's different for me like that. That's where, like, for me, when it comes, and like you said, Madstix, if the Kings would have won the in-season tournament and put up a banner, I would have said the same thing. Participation trophy, it doesn't matter. It didn't imply that you were going to make the playoffs. It does, because you can win the in-season tournament and then fall off from there and you didn't make the playoffs. It's real easy to do that. So that's why I'm saying it and it's not even really, yeah, it's an in-season, but it was kind of the beginning of the season. There's still a whole hell of a lot of basketball to be played. And anything can happen, right? Look, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but Lakers win the in-season tournament and then can just suck from here on. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the possibility of something like that happening is still there. That's why I say I don't care if it's, oh shit, what'd I do? Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. It's not about, like I said, had it been the Spurs or the Warriors or the Kings or whoever the hell it is that I end up rooting for, had they been the one to win it, I'd be like, cool. Hey, that's a step in the right direction. Cool confidence booster. Yeah, you won an but the banner, that's too much. That's too much for me. Because the banner is something, in my eyes, that's looked at as something that like an immortality kind of thing. If you're on the banners, you are going to be basically recognized and seen, forever, as long as this team is around. With people with the Ring of Honors getting their jerseys and stuff like that, retired, hanging in the rafters next to the World Championships and stuff like that. That is where I'm kind of like, with the banners wise, that's what it means. So when you put something that is irrelevant next to something that is, to me, it's kind of like, well, what's the point? That's like when I go to a San Jose Sharks game, hockey. They got banners all over the place. Not one of them is a Stanley Cup. Not one of them. Anytime they've even tried to getting into the playoffs, they shaft in one way, shape, or form. They got to the Stanley Cup Finals that 1 year and blew a fucking a 3-0 or a 3-1, series lead. They have we're Pacific champions. We're this champion. We're that. Have you ever held up the Stanley Cup? No? Okay. So this tells me you are okay with mediocrity. That's just what it means to me. It could mean something very different for other people. But for me, it shows you're okay with the bare minimum. And like Dub had put it up here with the Kobe thing. It's not the divisionals conference. Who cares? None of that matters. What matters is the rings. What matters is holding up the Larry O'Brien trophy. I get where Kane's coming from, wanting to instill a confidence, raising about. See, this could be the Larry O'Brien. It could be, but will it? It's a hell of a lot harder to win the NBA championship in a 7-game series against a team rather than an in-season tournament that was single elimination. Very different. Very different way of playing. So it's one of those things where, like I said, you get your trophy, you get your hat, you get your shirt, you move on. You don't need to put a banner in there for it. That doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, Lakers got to find something to be happy about, these days, I guess. But before we get off to the next topic, people, here is a message from our friends over at Bud Love.
What if I told you that Bud gets better? Introducing Bud Love, the long-awaited herbal blend that's designed to be mixed with your favorite bud and enjoyed together, like the mixer in a cocktail. Bud Love is made from marshmallow leaf, an ancient medicinal herb, the mother cannabinoid, CBG, and rich natural flavors, including terpenes. Offering a wide variety of premium Herbal Plus mixers to complement your favorite strains. Why? Because every bud needs some love. Our carefully formulated blends improve your experience, complementing your favorite flower and bringing out its best qualities. Many bud lovers even report that it helps reduce unwanted side effects like worry, and instead creates a happy, zen feeling. Bud Love contains no cannabis or nicotine. It won't give you a buzz on its own, but when consumed together, it reduces the amount of bud needed to get the feeling you love, allowing your precious flower to last even longer. Bud Love is best enjoyed with your first bud of the day, carefully paired with your favorite strain. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors, ranging from classic to more fruity to natural, as well as tobacco flavored for those who enjoy a spliff. Mix Bud Love and flower in whatever amounts work best for you for a perfect buzz. Whether you're chilling with friends, attending a social event, or going for a hike, experiment and find your own love ratio. Bud Love's unique blends allow you to craft a happier, smoother, and more personalized experience. If you love Bud, then Bud Love is for you. Try it today and help us tell the world that Bud does in fact get better with Bud Love.
Hey, stop.
First thing
You're trying to punch me in the face.
Yeah, go to budlove.com, use the promo code JAFFOARMY for 15% off of your first order. That stuff is actually pretty good, man. It helps, like it says, it'll help you save your stuff. I still need to go bring Mad Sticks a little bit so he can try it himself. But ladies and gentlemen, we are into the part of the show, NFL recap now. It is time to get into what we love to talk about on this show. And ladies and gentlemen, let's talk some football. NFL Week 15. It is getting down to the nitty fucking gritty when it comes to fantasy, when it comes to NFL playoffs. It is all getting down to the wire right now. starting off Thursday night football, the Raiders taking on the Los Angeles, or as the Dub likes to call them, the Inglewood Chargers. How do I say this politely?
They got their ass whooped.
I was gonna say it was more necrophilia
Hmm.
than anything else. For some of you, that's going over your head. Necrophilia, they're already dead, but they're constantly getting fucked. That's exactly what happened. On Thursday, Chargers losing. They lost Justin Herbert. So you kind of knew that the Chargers were going to end up losing, but not by this much. It's 63-21. Man, I stopped watching. Probably after the I don't know, probably after the first quarter. But what's funny is that's 63 points. You would think the offensive side of the ball, you would look at the stats and they'd be stacked, right? Well, no, the Chargers, quarterback stick, still led in passing with 257 and 3 touchdowns. The only Raider that led offensive statistical categories was White, the running back, and he only had 69 yards and a touchdown. And the leading the receiving was Josh Palmer, with 4 receptions, 113 and a touchdown. So it's kind of like, well, what happened? Well, the defense happened. The defense had a couple of scores and stuff like that too. So yeah, you're going to get it ran up a little bit like that. But to not lead in statistical categories when you're winning by that much tells me the defense did everything they were supposed to do and then some. Still not a whole hell of a lot of confidence for the Raiders offense. But they get the win against the Chargers. Saturday, we had Saturday games this week. God damn. Yeah, we're really getting into the nitty-gritty. We're having Saturday games. The Bengals taking on the Vikings. Folsom legend Josh Browning taking another victory for the Vikings, 27-24. Browning leading with 324, 2 touchdowns and an interception after the game, saying, running into the camera and yelling out, "You shouldn't have fucking cut me," because the Vikings were the team that did cut Jake Browning for him to lead to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. So it was a nice, sweet moment for Mr. Browning to get in there and do what he did. Chandler led the day in rushing for Minnesota with 132 yards and a touchdown, and Addison leading receiving for Minnesota, as well as the game, with 6 receptions, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Let's see. It says Jake Browning shines again for the Bengals, rallying the team 27-24 overtime win over the Vikings after trailing 17-3 late in the third quarter. So good for the Bengals. They're still kind of sticking in it a little bit, even though Joe Burrow's done for the season. Bengals are still trying to make at least a little bit of a playoff run. Maybe go hit the wild card and one and done it, and that's about it. But
Well, they lost Chase for a couple of games with that shoulder injury. He's gonna be out for at least this next game or two.
yeah, so that's going to make things a little bit tougher for the Bengals. But T. Higgins, I don't know if you saw that. You're the one who actually brought it up. T. Higgins made that catch.
Yeah,
Going up, top shelf him, and then at the 1-yard line, basically
spin around,
completely like Michael Jordan in Space Jam stretch, torqued his body, to get that touchdown. It was pretty impressive. So T. Higgins is still. He may have had a slow start to the year, but he's kind of coming out where he should, and
his mom got
involved
on Twitter.
Say what?
His mom got involved on Twitter, and she was going back and forth with some people on Twitter. That shit was funny. They were talking about, he ain't caught shit, and yeah, it was that whole little battle on Twitter had me dying. The interaction with her and these fans, like, man.
I'm sorry, when the moms start coming out on Twitter and talking some shit to the trolls and stuff out there, Those are always good. Those are always fun because if I'm not mistaken, it was T. Higgins. She laid out like a bomb on somebody.
Yeah,
She said,
yeah. Now she told somebody it was like somebody said that pass was incomplete. T can't catch a ball to save his life, and she told them, she said, "Your fat ass can't catch your breath." I was like, damn. I
that
was
one.
like, she was
That's the
going
one I
in.
saw right there. I was like, oh, yo,
Yeah, she,
mama to the rescue. I love it. Put her and T. Higgins in a Campbell's Chunky Noodle Soup commercial
yeah.
together. Holy fuck. We need it. We need it after that. That was great.
Yeah, I was
You
dying.
you can't catch your breath. I was dying when I saw that, bro. I was like, oh no. But you know, he may not be able to catch. He caught that one though. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's for damn sure. The Colts taking on the Steelers and just making that because Steelers are in some turmoil right now. People are talking about possibly Mike Tomlin getting fired and the Steelers moving on,
Really?
even though organizationally we probably know that that's not going to happen because that's just how the Steelers run things. And in their opinion, if he's not giving you losing seasons, which he's on the verge of doing right now, especially after this loss to the Colts, now that Steelers dropped to 7-7. The worst year that Mike Tomlin's ever had was an 8-8 year. So it's possible that if Mike Tomlin gets his first losing season, they might end up, you know, kicking him out of Pittsburgh. Now, is what's happening in Pittsburgh all of Mike Tomlin's fault? Not all of it, but a good vast majority of it, to be honest. Great coach. I'll give him that. Great coach. But I don't know what's going on in the sense of when it comes to they fired Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, who people were blaming that was the reason why the offense sucked. They fire Matt Canada and the offense gets worse. They're scoring less points than what they did. Um, so it's kind of like, well, where does it go here? Who do we actually put the blame on? And usually throughout these last 5 years, and I know this because people could say what they want to say about him. I listen to Mark Madden, from time to time. Pittsburgh, radio. At one of again, regardless of what you think about him, he's one of the legends in the sports radio game, and it's very much Tomlin is very good at disguising things and possibly putting out scapegoats. They fired I don't know how many defensive coordinators, how many offensive coordinators, special teams, all this other kind of stuff. Everyone else seems to get the blame for everything that is going on except for Mike Tomlin. And the only argument that anyone can ever give for Mike Tomlin is the fact that he hasn't had a losing season. He's got one Super Bowl, but he hasn't had a losing season. But that Super Bowl came a long time ago and arguably from a team that he inherited from Cowher. So, it's kind of one of those situations he ended up, winning a championship off the fruits of the labor of another coach, kind of like what John Gruden did with the Buccaneers after Tony Dungy left. That was Tony Dungy's team. John Gruden just kind of came in and basically had the game plan of the Raiders for that day, and that's just how they won it. I think this could be one of those situations where, you know, if they do get rid of him, and a good part of me says they shouldn't. At least for right now, in a sense of what they need to do is hold him more accountable and let him know, hey, you got 2 more years to at least get into a conference championship. Because, kind of going back to what we were talking about with the banners and stuff, like, we're kind of sick of living in mediocrity. We're not good enough to win a championship, but we're not bad enough to get a top pick. So we're just going to be standing in the middle the entire time. At some point, you got to go, you know what? Here's what we're going to do, Tomlin. We're going to tank this next year. Okay. Your job is still safe, but we're going to tank this next year so that we can, stock up on draft picks, get some things for the future. Because still, again, Mike Tomlin is still very, very young in head coaching standards. So we're going to tank. We're going to build this team. We're going to get a legitimate general manager so that he's not playing both head coach and general manager, because that rarely ever works. When you have the head coach as your general manager, it rarely ever works. Just ask Bill Belichick in New England. Get mad at that all you want to, Boston fans, but hey, it is what it is. Shit ain't been the same since Tom left, so understand that. But with Tomlin, I'd say and Miz, like, I get it, and this is why I kind of say this is a very, very hypothetical situation here. Too much pride to be able to tank or anything. Like, I get it. I understand. But at what point do you need to put that pride off to the side to save your fucking job? Because the way I look at it, at least right now, Mike Tomlin, good coach. He does get the most out of his players, because let's be honest, I don't know a whole lot of other head coaches that can take the team that the Steelers have right now and be at 7-7. They should be a top 5 pick this year. So that's why it kind of, in my head, I go, the coaching is obviously doing something right. Even though they're not getting the results that they want, they're doing something right. Because on paper, again, you look at this team, there's no reason why this team should be 7-7. There's no reason why this team should be even sniffing a wild card spot. They are just that bad. You put Mike Tomlin on another team. Granted, this team being above average to a good team, will probably take them to the Super Bowl. But if you put him on a bad team, I don't know if you get any different than what he's getting in Pittsburgh. It's kind of like he needs to have that elite group of guys in order to be successful.
They need AB back.
Say what?
They need AB back.
Good Lord. Yeah, let bring AB back. Yeah, let's just watch the Pittsburgh Steelers organization just implode on itself, bringing AB back, and the QB situation. Yeah, okay, like, Miz, I understand that, but whose fault is that? I guess we just said, you're saying they don't have an offensive coordinator. Okay, well, the offensive coordinator that they fired, they are now scoring less points without him than they did with him. So there's that. Mike Tomlin is head coach, GM role. Who chose the quarterback? Tomlin did. He fell for that. He fell for the Pitt, Pitt graduate, keep him in Pittsburgh type of whole. He fell for it. And now he's got Kenny Pickett as a starting quarterback in this league, where everybody knew that entire draft class of quarterbacks are not legitimate starters in the league. And I'll get to fucking Will Levis in a second. He fell for that trap. So why is it the offensive coordinator's fault? Why is it the offensive coordinator's fault for his decisions on who they put on the field? He drafted these players. They can only do with what they have on the field. So how much of that is on the offensive coordinator and how much of that is on Tomlin? If he's the GM and the coach, you can't blame anybody else but him. This is one of those situations, if there was a regular GM, if Pittsburgh had a regular GM and they drafted Kenny Pickett, he would have been fired by last year. At the worst, early this year. But because it's Tomlin, we got to find a scapegoat. We got to find somebody else whose problem it is. And you're running out of scapegoats there in Pittsburgh right now. So it's kind of either drop your pride and get your shit together, or you're just going to have to find another job somewhere else. And I know, again, for Pittsburgh, that's not ideal. For Pittsburgh, that's how their organization runs. They've only had 3 head coaches their entirety of an NFL franchise. And I think they like having that moniker. They like having that, that sense of traditional, almost like kind of like with Green Bay. Like Green Bay has had, 3 quarterbacks their entire, like 3 or 4 quarterbacks their entire existence. So we're going to have 3 or 4 head coaches our entire existence, type of thing. There's a sense of pride, and to be honest, if you're a team and you've gotten lucky with that many, that group, like those 3 Hall of Fame caliber style head coaches, you got lucky with that. Cool. Yeah. But at some point, you got to be able to look in the mirror and go, yeah, I love you. Go Shawn Michaels to Ric Flair status. I love you. I'm sorry. Give him the sweet chin music. Let him say his goodbyes and move on. That's just, I think that's what it's going to have to come down to in Pittsburgh. Now, will Tomlin be successful somewhere else? Yes, but only if he's the head coach and not the general manager. Because again, being a general manager and a head coach at the same time, statistically, historically, has never worked. Never. So you're either going to have to get rid of Tomlin or find a GM so he can just focus on the head coaching duties. Because what they have on the field is on Tomlin. Anybody else but him. So we'll just leave it that one at that. Broncos taking on the Lions, the Red Hot Lions, 10-4, 42-17 over the Broncos. Jared Goff having himself a day, 278 with 5 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had 100 yards and a touchdown on the day. Amon-Ra Brown with 112 yards and a touchdown. The Lions are now are leading the NFC North, looking like they are about to be divisional champions, which, I'm pretty sure all of us, including Dub and Mizzle, so we were all looking at the Lions as one of those teams that you should not at all sleep on this year. And they have been good. They have been really good all year long. I can't remember the last time I've seen the Detroit Lions with a 10-4 record, with 10 wins to say the least. Hell, I can't remember the last time I've seen the Lions with over 8 wins or 6 wins, shit, over 5 wins. At times, the Lions have been historically terrible. So to see them kind of come up and do what they're doing is one of those lovable loser type of things. You got to kind of root for him. Him and with Dan Campbell down there doing his thing, he's being that motivational head coach in the right way. So, kudos to the Lions on their way to possibly being the NFC North champions again, 42-17 over the Broncos. Sunday came down to the wire, but a shit show, horrible looking game to say none the least. The Cleveland Browns taking on the Chicago Bears. The Browns winning 20-17. Joe Flacco, and so this might be the game that I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith in Justin Fields. Because I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. You cannot be getting outperformed by Joe Flacco. Out of everybody else in the league, Joe Flacco is not the guy you want to get outperformed by. And he got outperformed, and Joe Flacco still threw for 3 picks. Well, I mean, if he would have caught the yes, there's always if they would have caught the Hail Mary and stuff like that, he would have been the hero. And how often do Hail Marys work? I want to know the statistics behind that, because it ain't very often. When it does happen, the person who's doing it is on the elite level. When we were seeing Aaron Rodgers basically hit every Hail Mary that he threw up, that was his, during his elite levels. D-Hop going to get a Hail Mary, at one point I remember that, at the end of one game, him top shelf and 3 receivers. There's very few and far between players and times where the Hail Mary is thought of as something that the defense needs to be worried about this.
9.7% of the time it works. Between 2009 and 2020, 193 attempts, 16 touchdowns. 9.7%.
Less than 10% of the time, people. Less than 10% of the time it works. And of that 10%, Aaron Rodgers holds, 3 or 4 of them?
Mm-hmm.
So you take him out of there, it's probably less than 5%. It's Hail Mary is like there's always the what ifs about you. There was a Hail Mary in the Super Bowl that happened not too long ago that Gronkowski almost caught, and everybody was like, "Oh, if Gronk would have caught that." A whole lot of what ifs, but guess what? The other team's holding the trophy and they're not. So at the end of the day, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. The Bears shouldn't have lost to the Browns, but they did, further exposing how bad that team really is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Green Bay Packers. Kay was happy at this one. Baker Mayfield having 381 with 4 touchdowns. Rachaad White actually showed up a little bit, no touchdown, but he had 89 yards on 21 carries. Chris Godwin actually leading the team for Tampa this time with 10 receptions and 155 yards with no touchdowns. 34-20 over a Packers team, and it ain't easy to win in Lambeau. And I've made this point very, very clear. It does not matter how bad the Packers are on paper. Winning at Lambeau is difficult. So kudos to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, being from a Florida climate, going into the frozen tundra and pulling off a win in significant fashion. So hats off to the Buccaneers. I don't give Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers very much credit for a whole hell of a lot. But this was one of those games I sat back, saw the highlights, watched what I was seeing, and you know what? I was like, hey, Baker had a good game. He had a good game. Good for him. He had a good game. So Buccaneers are still trying to battle to figure out if they're even going to get into the playoffs or not. They probably are, just with another losing record, but that's just the NFC South for you. The Houston Texans taking on the Tennessee Titans. CJ Stroud did not play, or he went out.
No, he didn't play. Nope, he didn't play.
He didn't play. Okay.
No.
So
hey,
CJ Stroud
he used to play for speaking of CJ Stroud, did you know he used to play for Snoop? Coming up, he was on Snoop's
I didn't know that until
Snoop
brought it up.
Yeah.
But I was like, to be honest, there's a lot of players, or quite a bit of players who are in the NFL that have been coached by Snoop or was in one of his leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So to be completely honest, it's not really a surprise that CJ Stroud was coached by Snoop. It's just another thing that tells me that Snoop is a very, very smart individual. knows what the fuck he's talking about in more ways than one when it comes to football, when it comes to, branding and everything else. Snoop is one of the smartest human beings on this fucking planet, people. Don't get it twisted, all right? You don't get it twisted. The guy knows what he's talking about. He has seen things, he has done things, he knows what he's talking about. But for them not to have CJ Stroud in this game, Case Keenum come in and, basically do a respectable job as a backup, going for 229, a touchdown and an interception. Singletary kind of carried the load a little bit on the ground for him, 26 carries on 121 yards. Nico Brown with 8 receptions, 82 yards, and the lone touchdown from Case Keenum. Here's what I was going to mean by Will Levis when I was talking about it. Now, I've got a lot of trolls, on, for the All Pro JAFFOs account. They're on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I love it because trolls are very selective in their arguments. And when they do start to argue, they try to go all in. They stumble over themselves. Most of them are stupid. Most of them have no profile pictures. Yeah, it's just one of those, the typical keyboard warrior would never say it to your face type of people. In the beginning of the year, during the draft process, when Will Levis fell into the second round and everything else like that, Sauce Gardner put out a tweet that said, don't worry about it, or I'm paraphrasing here, but don't worry about it, Will. God has greatness planned for you and everything. I commented, now I knew when I said this that this is either going to come back to bite me in the ass hard, or I'm going to be proven right. I said, quote, now this may sound fucked up, but what if God didn't mean for him to be great? At least in football. Will Levis had one good game early in the season. He didn't even break 300 yards. He had one touchdown or 1 or 2 touchdowns. A decent game. Couple of this tweet is not aging well. Mind you, this is the middle of the season that this happened. He hadn't done shit up until that point. But okay, let's for game's sake, let's go. This tweet is starting to date badly. It's not looking good. This is. I was like, and I've told him he had one good game. That means nothing to me. Any backup can have one good game. Hell, even 2 good games. But that doesn't mean that they're your franchise guy. 3 games later, hasn't done a fucking thing. It's been quiet on the internet. Nobody's saying shit. Then he has the game against Miami. And now everybody wants to speak again. Everybody wants to talk. Well, he did in Miami. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know ball. You don't know this. I'm like, okay, I don't know ball. I was like, I'm just letting y'all know you need to calm the fuck down, because this is the exact same energy that everybody was giving Josh Dobbs, and look where he's at now. Will Levis this week, what did he do? Not a goddamn thing. It turned into a Peter Griffin meme. When he got put out, his arms all behind his back and everything, looking like Peter Griffin. Real quiet on the social media front right now. That's all I'm saying, people. I know how to handle trolls. You need to know how to handle coming and talk to me. Okay? You need to understand what it is that I'm fucking talking about when I'm saying this. Do I think Will Levis is a franchise quarterback? No. There's a reason why he fell. Do I think that he's going to be, a legitimate backup? Maybe. But there is nothing about Will Levis that says to me that he is going to be effective consistently for a long period of time. It's just not going to happen. Now, for all the trolls, when he has another good game, and you guys just remember what I'm saying here, okay? You can have 2 or 3 games that wowing everybody. Oh my God, this was good. But I'm telling you right now, don't fall in love with that recency shit. That recency bias is what gets a lot of people burned. You know, that recency bias is what gets people paid when they shouldn't be getting paid. Okay, so be very, very careful on who it is that you're wanting to, rise up above that level. Will Levis ain't that guy. He's just not. Had a couple of good games, cool. But until that becomes when it becomes a consistency and long period of time and stuff, he's doing actually good. He's bringing the Titans out of obscurity. I'll eat my words and I will admit I was wrong. But that ain't the case yet. That mayonnaise in the coffee drinking motherfucker is not the guy. It ain't happening. I'm sorry. It's just not going to be it. Especially when you're losing to Case Keenum. You didn't even lose to CJ Stroud. You lost to Case Keenum. So there again, my case is set. And once again, trolls are going to troll. That's fine. Keep it coming, guys. I love every bit of it. It just makes me laugh on how dumb some of y'all are and how smart you think you are. That's what's hilarious to me. Mad Sticks' beloved Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins and getting goose egged. 30-0. Dolphins take out the Jets. You had Wilson arguing on the sidelines with both Saleh and Aaron Rodgers. At one point during the game, Tua Tagovailoa leading with 224 and a touchdown. Raheem Mostert leading the game on the ground for the Miami Dolphins, 42 yards and 2 touchdowns, with Jalen Waddle leading the game in receptions with 8 receptions with 142 yards and a touchdown there. Did Tyreek Hill not play?
No, he didn't play.
He's still hurt from last week, huh?
Yep.
Yep. Oh. Now that he didn't play, I don't know if that 2,000-yard mark is going to be possible. Had he not gotten hurt, I think it would have been possible. But unless he comes back next week and just drops 200+ yards every game, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. It's going to be close, but I don't see it happening. Chiefs taking on the Patriots, 27-17 victory in Foxborough. Patrick Mahomes with 305 yards with 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, one of those coming off the hands of Kadarius Toney, who once again fucking up in some way, shape, or form for the Kansas City Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, surprising. Well, not surprising in the output, surprising that he was leading the game in rushing with 37 yards. Rashid Rice, the rookie, 9 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. I got him in fantasy, and he's been a really productive rookie.
He didn't help you out a couple weeks ago, though.
Yeah, he didn't help me out a couple weeks ago. No, he didn't. But he has been, he's been a solid flex play. He's been averaging a little over, I think, 11 points or something like that per game. But he's been a good rookie. He's been one of the shining points, if there really is any, in that receiver group there in Kansas City. But he's one of those guys that can, they can maybe build around for that group. So good for him leading in the receiving statistic here. The New Orleans Saints taking on the New York Giants, 24-6, kicking the Giants' ass. Derek Carr coming in 218 with 3 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had 66 yards. Slayton leading the receiving for the game and for the Giants with 4 receptions, 63 yards. Giants are just, to be honest, I don't know how the Giants have 5.
I'm like, do they still got a team? I'm like, I ain't heard shit about the Giants. They in the division. I'm like, I ain't heard shit about the Giants all year long.
Like, it's been bad, man. Again, I don't know how the hell they have 5 wins right now, but it's been bad. It has been terrible for them. Speaking of absolutely shit, piss poor, terrible ass performances, and should probably, whatever happened to when they used to black out teams?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think they
because
do it. I
they
think
were
they try
so
to.
bad and attendance was so bad that they would just black out games. That they would just black out games. Did they only do that to the Raiders?
It seemed like you don't get too many blackout games. No, I ain't seen a blackout game in a while.
What the hell? Al Davis dies and we just stop blacking out games now? NFL really hated fucking Al Davis. They really hated Al Davis. Oh my God. Like that because I was about to say, I was like, that was the only team that used to get blacked out that I remember.
Mhm.
They're like nobody else was getting blacked out at a rate that the Oakland Raiders at that time were getting. And that was when Al Davis was around. But like I said, when he passed away, they just stopped fucking with the Raiders. I'm like, oh, okay, so they really did hate Al to a big extent. So but again, shit shows here. The Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons, and leave it to the Falcons to just shit on, fantasy dreams and everything else like that. Panthers going on. I don't think they scored a touchdown. Nope, they did not score a touch. Nope, they did not score a touchdown. Winning the game on field goals 9-7.
Horrible.
Hashtag blackout more games. Let's see. Next one on the list. The Washington Commanders taking on the Inglewood Rams. 28-20 Rams taking the win. Matthew Stafford, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Williams leading in rushing for the LA Rams and the game. 27 carries for 152 yards and a touchdown. Scary Terry McLaurin leading all receiving, as well as Washington with 6 receptions, 141 yards and a touchdown. I think Terry McLaurin is one of those, McLaren, I should say. He's probably one of the more underrated receivers in the entire league. He is not talked about enough on what he means to that team, because he is by far a wide receiver one, and he needs to go to a team that's going to utilize him better and more effectively. What team that is, I don't know. Just keep him away from the Chiefs. That's all I ask. Keep him away from the fucking Chiefs. That's all I ask. Next game on the list.
You can go ahead and skip it.
45-29. Niners kicking the dog shit out of the fucking Cardinals. Brock Purdy with 242 yards and 4 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 115 yards and a touchdown. And McBride leading for tight ends in the game for the Arizona Cardinals with 10 receptions for 102 yards. Not much I need to, go into on this other than I told
Now
you
we're
so.
gonna go into it. Fuck your Niners. I've been waiting for you to get to the Niners. I'm so
Oh,
sick
okay.
of y'all. I'm so sick of y'all fan base for one. Like y'all ain't won shit since '94. Y'all win these division champs participation trophies and act like y'all just the greatest damn team like of all time. Y'all ain't won shit in over 30 years. So y'all convince me with all that. Every time y'all win or we lose, y'all want to get on Facebook and talk all of this shit. Like shut the fuck up. Like y'all suck. Y'all ain't won shit either.
I
So
have left the Cowboys out in a lot of my shit. I've actually been targeting the Eagles with a lot of my crap that I've been doing.
I need to say that. I'm so fucking sick of these Niner friends, and it's like a couple of friends I got, and they just talk the most shit like they just like won every fucking Super Bowl since the NFL has started. Y'all ain't won in over fucking 30 years. The Cowboys won recently, y'all. Y'all ain't doing shit but getting participation trophies, and y'all happy with that. So miss me with that shit. Until you put a ring up and hang a banner, a real banner, shut up. Miss me with that
For
shit.
the
Y'all
record, people,
sorry.
he ain't talking about me. I have been very much the realistic one. I am on his side. I don't get like if it ain't with the Super Bowl, I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah.
For me, my arguments have been the case because at the very beginning of the year, I said with what I've seen with Brock Purdy and everything, there was a possibility that he could be in the conversation of MVP. Now
Man, he ain't even that good though. His players is good. All he doing is doing these little dump passes. He ain't that good.
Dump. Look, I almost called you K because he even said the same. Here's the thing. You do not average 10 yards per attempt. That's through the air with slant routes and dump offs.
Yeah, but look who we got.
And you're gonna
that'll make
so
him
we're
good.
basically going to
his players around him is good.
I
He ain't that
don't
good.
no, because if you're gonna make that case, you do that for every NFL MVP ever. Patrick Mahomes shouldn't have been the MVP for the years that he had because he had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on his team. That's the argument. That's literally
Patrick
the
Mahomes
argument.
run though.
Because
Patrick
he
Mahomes
has
run for
weapons,
touchdown.
we're gonna penalize him for that.
He sucked.
No.
When he won a
He only
championship,
sucks because you guys only think of him as the last pick in the draft. If he was a top 5 pick in the draft, and I've seen this argument everywhere, if he was the top 5 pick, everybody would have a different fucking tune about Brock Purdy. But because he's not, and everybody's been wrong about him since day one, period, no need to go into further debate about that one. Everyone's like, oh no, he still sucks. He just did that. No. You just wish you had him. That's why you said
when he won the Super Bowl,
that's like people when they were talking about Barry Bonds. Oh, Barry Bonds, but you wish you had that motherfucker on your team, don't you? Don't you?
I don't wish he had
yeah.
Purdy.
So
let me know when he win a championship.
Yeah, all right. That's what I'm saying. Like he win, and when Dak wins one, we can talk about him too with his
exactly.
Hey, he can't win shit either. But like that's what I'm saying. My point in this whole thing, people are looking at the wrong things. They think, oh, because he's got Debo, and I don't even know why Kay makes this argument sometimes. Oh, well, he's got Debo, he's got Ayuk, he's got Kittle. This is the same guy who is always downplayed how effective Debo and Brandon Ayuk and everybody is. He's always given his credit to Kittle, but he says Debo's not a real one. He's not that good. He says Ayuk sucks. But then when we talk about the MVP, oh, now all of a sudden he's got weapons. It's only convenient for anybody making these arguments when it comes to, we try to talk about convenience here, and that's what it is. Let's be real. He's doing things no other quarterback in this fucking league is doing, and that's including Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow before he got hurt. All of these quote unquote elite quarterbacks, he is outplaying all of them. All of them in every statistic that matters. Quarterback ratings, passing yards per attempt, passing or deep ball touchdowns on attempts. When Patrick Mahomes won his MVP a couple of years ago, guess how many deep ball touchdowns that he had? 2. Guess how many Brock Purdy has? 9. 9 of them. Percentage-wise, 48% of his yards are yards after the catch, because people want to make that whole fucking argument too. Well, it's the yards after the catch. Okay, when Patrick Mahomes won his MVP, he was at 53%. 53% of his yards were yards after the catch with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So 48%, hell of a lot better. Less than half of your yardage is through yards after the catch, and he's on pace to get it. He's on pace right now for over 4,000. What? How the hell do you go? Oh, you throw for over 4,000 yards. He's on pace to throw for over 30 touchdowns. He has a QBR rating that's better than anybody in single season history so far. Higher QBR. When Patrick Mahomes won his MVP, his QBR was not 120, 130 like Brock Purdy's is. Okay, people can make the argument all they want to. Oh, it's the system. Oh, it's the blah 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 blah. You take all of that shit out. No fucking QB anywhere ever. Period. Will win the MVP on a shitty team with no weapons and a bad system. None. Never. It'll never happen. Never happen. Because the MVP goes to the best player on the best team. I mean, in the NFL, it goes to the quarterback on the best team, but that's a whole different argument. But he leads all the statistics and everything else. And yet, again, I think, especially when it comes from you and from Kay, there's hatred for the fan base so much that you're willing to say it. There's so much hatred. But then the fact is, and this is what I got on Kay last week, he hasn't really watched. He hasn't really watched the games to make that type of statement. I have. I've been watching all the games since day one, beginning to end. I've seen everything that I've needed to see out of Brock Purdy to know he's fucking legit. He's legit regardless of what anybody wants to say. And the only reason why people are given the narrative that he's given right now is because he was the last pick in the fucking draft. That's it.
Well, we'll see how legit he is if he can host the trophy.
But here's the thing. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, none of y'all will give him credit.
He ain't winning the Super Bowl.
You won't, because you'll say,
the Niners gonna flop like they always do.
You'll say, he will still find some sort of way to shit on Brock Purdy, still call Kyle Shanahan fucking B-Rabbit, even if they're winning that's the thing. Y'all's hatred for this team is so deep. You're not willing to see the reality of what's actually happened. And again, I can say this because I've been very critical of this team. I've been one of the only 49er fans who have been telling other 49er fans to calm the fuck down. So I know that I can say, hey, y'all better fucking watch out. Like, if he wins the Super Bowl, cool. But again, y'all's arguments are still going to be what they are. Nobody's going to give him the credit that he actually deserves.
Hey, he won the Super Bowl. I'll give him his credit. But until then, he ain't shit.
Hey, just
like Dak ain't shit.
To be honest, as long as they keep knocking out the Eagles and the Cowboys, we could sit in the same boat. Just as long as one boat's not. If we're even, or if we win the Super Bowl, I'm good with that.
We ain't even because we didn't win to the Super Bowl and won more recent than y'all have, so we still ain't even.
1 year, calm down.
2. Wasn't it 94 or was it 95?
Y'all won in 95.
95 and y'all won what, 94?
Y'all won in 90, 92, 93, then we had 94, then y'all won 95, and that was it. So it's a 1 year difference. It really ain't that big of a deal.
Hey, that's 365 days. That's a huge difference.
That's a whole 365 days. Yeah, man.
And actually, it was 96. We won 96. We beat the Steelers in 96. I'm not sure. Maybe it was the Niners in 95?
It was Niners in 94. Or is it 94 or 95 season? Because the Super Bowl was obviously in 1995.
Yeah, it was 95. The Niners won. They beat the Chargers in 95.
With Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the 94 season, but the championship was obviously taking place. The date was in 1995.
Yeah.
For the Cowboys, it was the 95 season.
And the Super Bowl was in 96.
In 96. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's what that one was there. 365, I guess.
Yeah. That's a whole lot of time. A whole lot happened in 365 days. So.
And then we got into, because Bills beat the shit out of the Cowboys 31-10 in Buffalo. A lot of people are saying this is the game that knocked Dak Prescott out of the league not out of the league, but out of the lead for the MVP race, and giving it to Brock Purdy currently at the moment. Dak Prescott, even though it was a piss poor performance, Josh Allen didn't do much better because Dak Prescott led the game in passing, but with 134 yards and a pick. No, Josh Allen, like he had that one rushing touchdown, but he really didn't do shit through the air the entire game. The one who deserved all the credit is Mr. James Cook. 25 carries, 179 yards, and a touchdown, for him. And yet they gave the ball to Josh Allen. Again, the quarterback favoritism is wild. And this is one of the reasons why the running back the running back positions are starting to become, like falling into obscurity type of thing. But it's one of those games where Dallas needed to get a win in order to, gain hold of that NFC East. And nope.
We didn't need to win. We still on top of it. We still on top of the East.
That's right. You guys have the time.
And we had already clinched the playoffs, so really it was a garbage game.
So you guys are trying to fight for the number one.
Yeah.
Motherfucking son bitches, motherfucking cunt whore, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so just me. I'm running the show now. Yeah, this your boy DJ Mastic. We still talking about football. We talking about the Cowboys. We're gonna keep this thing rolling till JP get back. But yeah, like I said to all the Niner fans, y'all suck. When y'all win a Super Bowl, let me know. Until then, fuck y'all. Cowboys got that ass beat by the Bills, like we was talking about. Garbage game. We already clinched the spot. We still in the playoffs.
I'm just blocking people. Anybody who's calling me during the show, you're getting fucking blocked. I don't care if you're in my goddamn contacts or not. You know my schedule. You know what I'm doing. You know what if you know that I'm on here and you are calling me during the show, I'm blocking your fucking number.
That's how I feel about the people who come on stage when I'm DJing. Leave me the fuck alone when I'm busy. Stop talking to me. Whether you artists, whether you security, whether you a fan, whether you want to request a song, take that shit elsewhere.
Ravens beating the Jaguars 23-7, holding the number one seed so far in the AFC. Lamar Jackson led in rushing with 97 yards. Trevor Lawrence led the game in passing with 264 and a touchdown. Agnew, wide receiver for Jacksonville, led in receptions for two receptions, 70 yards and a touchdown, which is why the Jaguars lost 23-7. So Jaguars are they were in that spot of, they're still kind of sitting on okay, in the AFC South right now, but they got to start pulling out some games if they want to, for being a divisional champion for that 3 seed or even the 4 seed. They need to start winning some more games. And then it came down to the Monday night game, and
fucking Eagles choked.
I love it because I remember after we beat the crap out of the Eagles, what was the first thing? We're still number one in the East. We're still number one. We're still number one in the NFC. Now you motherfuckers are at the 5 spot in the wild card.
Yep.
2 weeks later. All that shit. It's okay. That was the Super Bowl for you 49ers. All right. Well, when you were supposed to go up and play against the Cowboys, y'all were supposed to beat the shit out of them. What happened?
Got that ass whooped.
Mm-hmm. And now the Seahawks, who y'all should have mopped the floor with, y'all lost to Drew Lock. Not even Geno Smith. Drew fucking Lock. And now the Eagles fans are a little quiet. All right. I see how it is. All right, Philly.
Tell the wife I said
And I've been putting that shit on social media. Like Dub even came and was like, "You must love sleeping on the couch."
Right.
Like, hey, sometimes on these days, couch ain't that bad. It's pretty fucking comfortable on these types of happy days. Like it's pretty nice. But that's what, like, Eagles fans got real fucking quiet, real fucking quick, because there's no argument they can make anymore. There's none now.
Nope.
They're not number one in the East. They're not even number one in the division, and you just lost to Drew Lock. it is panic mode right now for people in Philly right now. So
Fucking Jalen Hurts pissed me off. I needed him like to do big for me for my fantasy at Trader Joe's. I would have been playing for the championship, and I was down like going into it by about like 25, 26. And so he made like that good comeback, but then he threw the fucking 2 picks, and I was like, oh, now I got to play for the third spot. But I was like, oh, that close. But my
you
team
needed 26 points, and he gave you a dud.
Yep. I mean, he gave me 20. He gave me 21. Yeah. So.
20.
But yeah. It was close though. Like I didn't think I was gonna get that close. And then I started looking. I'm like, okay, he get 2 more rushing touchdowns, and I might be able to pull this shit out. But the rest of my team,
I don't know what the scoring is like in that league, but I know that if it was in the JAFFOs league, those 2 picks are what would have killed you.
Oh,
because
interceptions
are minus 3 points in our league. So I don't know. I don't know how it is in your league, but those 2 interceptions right there are probably what killed you.
Yeah, what killed it. Yeah. So, and then the rest of my team, they like just tanked this week too. Like I had fucking like one of my running backs only gave me like 1 point. It was just horrible this week. It was like a horrible, like a team that I should have beat. Me and him had kind of split. During the course of the season, but it was one of those going into it. You should have won, and they just all fucking just tanked on me this week, and I was just like, but that's fantasy for you. But I'm still in it in the Jaffo League, so I won this week. I won last week, so beating you put me back in the playoffs because I was moving down to 8. So I'm trying to make my run.
Yeah, I just love making my playoff hopes and everything. I love making them difficult. I love the stress. I love getting gray hairs on my beard and my hair and everything. I love doing it to myself that way. No, like in all honesty, I hate that shit because it's like your players do. I mean, my players, all honesty, all year long in both the leagues that I'm in. Oh man, injuries have been a motherfucker all year long for me in every aspect. But it's worse when all your players are good. You need 1 or 2 games to win to get into the playoffs, and then just everyone decides to take a break.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, everybody decided to like fucking Brees Hall gave me 2 points. I'm like, man, just like y'all just horrible this week.
God damn it!
I mean, going into Monday, I'd only had like I think like 70 points going into Monday. That's how bad it was. So yeah, I needed Jalen to give me at least 30 to win that thing. And I was like, it's possible with a quarterback, especially when they run. But
well, I was going to say, getting 30 points with Jalen Hurts is not necessarily out of the realm of possibility.
Nah, nope.
So it.
Yeah.
Man, when it rains, it pours in Philly.
On a goddamn eagle. I should have known better.
That's why I don't really draft Raiders and Cowboys. Never works out for me every time I do it. As much as I hate the teams, I look at it like fantasy-wise.
Fucking CeeDee Lamb was probably about the only one that balled, for the Cowboys this year. Like he fucking had a good year, but everybody else just
trash.
And Ferguson, I mean, Ferguson always guaranteed to score you at least a touchdown or 2.
Yeah, at least one. At least. Yeah. Before we move on real quick, ladies and gentlemen, quick word from our friends over at Popple.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
And because we're running on time, ladies and gentlemen, here's a message from our friends over at Mountain Mike's.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole California milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Mountain Mike's always brings me so much joy, man. It's all like childhood shit right there. I know there are some people that I know that don't like it. I know there's a lot of people that I know that do like it, but like for me personally,
Mountain Mike's Round Table got the best pizza to me. Yeah. They just be expensive as shit though. They come down in the prices. I ain't trying to pay $50 for a large goddamn pizza.
That's the thing with it, man. It's just like fuck. The people who say that Pizza Hut is the best pizza,
Hell no.
to me, are the same type of people who don't season their food.
Yeah. Or they just can't afford Mountain Mike's and Round Table, so that's all they know is.
Hey, let's be real. You going to Mountain Mike's or Round Table, that ain't no like once a week thing. That's
Nah, hell no.
type of meal right there.
Matter of fact, I think the last time I had Mountain Mike's was during the fucking when we did the Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
Actually, at work, we be ordering
I
at
had
work.
Mountain Mike's twice, and one of them I didn't pay for.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we usually have it at work, but that should be like we be getting like how many pizzas we order? Like 9 pizzas, and that should be damn near like $300-$400.
9 from Mountain Mike's?
Order for the whole crew, yeah. Because we order for the whole crew, yeah.
Look. I love Mountain Mike's. I really do. But if I'm doing a company party or anything else like that, motherfucker, y'all getting Little Caesars or Costco, and you're gonna like it. Shut the fuck up.
I think last time we had Costco, that shit was so nasty. Like,
oh, you don't like Costco?
They crust tastes like cardboard.
That's like Chuck E. Cheese sounded like to me.
Yeah. This fool was knocked out on me. He is out.
I was looking at him like, is he asleep? Yeah.
Yeah. No, he knocked out. Yeah.
People said like, oh, Domino's is the best.
Domino's be fucking up my stomach.
Yeah. Pizza.
Yes, like those places is cool. Like if you just want like cheap pizza, like you just want something quick and cheap, then it's cool. But like if I want some good pizza, yeah, I'm like not ordering for there. There's a spot over here called Buffalo Pizza, and they got one called like a King Kong. That shit like a 28-inch pizza.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to go pick that shit up one day. Damn near didn't even fit in the car. I was like driving with it on the dashboard.
Yeah, no, there was a place that we used to go to that I think it was like it was a New York pizza.
New York pizza, yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
they had the Kong style big ass, but they did it in they cut it in squares.
Squares, yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. You said it was Buffalo Pizza?
Yes, because right here is right down the street from the house. Yeah, but they do theirs. It's round. It's like a big ass round pizza, so they cut it.
Right. It's round. But the way they cut it is squared off. So like the edge.
They cut this shit in triangles. You got a big ass like piece of pizza that don't even fit on the plate.
I got a King Kong size pizza one time that they didn't cut it in squares. It was like the regular slices.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. How am I supposed to eat? You start folding it up in half.
You can't even fold it up at the end because the whole blip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, go to Round Table, go to Mountain Mike's. The best places to go. Mountain Mike's, especially for me. Like I fucking love it. Like I said, childhood stuff. After baseball games and all that, kind of going with the family and stuff. The Mountain Mike's. My parents didn't do Pizza Hut. They didn't like. My mom didn't like Pizza Hut so much because of the fact that she used to work for him when she was younger. So she was like, fuck that. I'm not.
Now, see, the only thing I like about Pizza Hut is their crust. They got good crust. I like the little butter crust. That's about the only thing. Like, if you can take that and put that crust on the Mountain Mike's, the toppings and the rest of the pizza, you might be onto something. But
I might be in the minority in thinking this here, but I don't think Pizza Hut's the cheesy crust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's any good.
Nah.
They don't know how to do. I would much rather get a stuffed crust cheesy pizza from a fucking DiGiorno box than I would from Pizza Hut. They just don't know how to do it the right way there. And again, my opinion, nobody else has to agree with it. That's okay. If you love the stuffed crust Pizza Hut, by all means eat as much as your heart desires. But in my own opinion, just it ain't right. It's not.
If you want some good pizza, you got to go to Slim and Huskies.
Slim and Huskies.
Slim and Huskies is down in Oak Park. It's like the artisan type pizza. All their pizzas are music themed. It's right across from the Guild Theater. Bomb ass pizza for like cheap, and you're gonna get full off their large. And it's like cutting like squares, but you get like the drizzle and whatever. Like I get one called the Preem, and you get like salmon on there, and that's some yeah. That's some bomb ass pizza, yeah. Yep. You gotta go check it out one day. Yeah, it's right there across the street from the Guild Theater. So we do shows over there, Slim and Huskies. It's a Tennessee brand, two brothers own it. I think here, and I think Tennessee might be the only other spot. Black owned.
Because you said that, because you said salmon, I have to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I sure do. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Okay. I was gonna say, Matt Stick, if you said no to pineapple but good to salmon on pizza.
Nah, you gotta try the salmon on the pizza. You gotta try it. Like it's a whole different it's a whole different taste.
My mind goes to anchovies. That's why.
Nah, it don't taste nothing like it. Ain't salty like that. Nah, nothing like anchovies. Anchovies is nasty as fuck.
Yeah,
I remember my grandfather accidentally ordered a pizza with anchovies, and they didn't say it. Like I went to go bite into it. Oh, this shit's salty. Like, why is this pizza so salty? Like, nah, but the salmon on there and the way they cook it, that shit is fire, dude.
Okay. I'll have to try that one out then because that's.
Yeah.
I feel like that's risky, but
it's good. And they got a full bar in there. So we go in there and drink. We have shows. There's shows that happen out. They got like a little outdoor seating area with a stage. We do shows out there, and yeah.
So yeah. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for hanging out with us this Saturday. Basically the toy drive and everything for the River City Tigers. We were collecting, toys and the cash and everything for the Toys for Tots for the game this past Saturday, but now this coming Saturday is when we're handing everything out and doing that kind of like what we did with the turkey drive back in Thanksgiving. It's there at River City High School again, Sir 1 Raider Lane out there in West Sacramento. If you have the time, and if you still feel generous and the need to want to donate to it, by all means, bring it in and help out these families in need. Let's see what else. Well, the format of the show is going to change a little bit. Come like beginning of the year. I know Mad Sticks, when we're dealing with artists and stuff like that, getting them, either for interviews or getting their stuff. There's some couple of little hoops and stuff we need to jump through real quick before we make that like a continuous, consistent every Friday show type of thing. So the format is going to change just a little bit, not too much, but it's going to change just a little bit going into the new year. But other than that, Matt Six, got anything?
New Year's Eve. If you ain't doing nothing, Dave and Buster's in Roseville, I'll be spending. I'll end my year and begin my year. So
that should be. I wanted to go, but then the missus has work the next morning at 4 a.m. And
yeah, I worked that day. I worked that morning and then got the show that night. I'm off that next day.
See that's better. But it's man, they should honestly do New Year's like they do Christmas and think that like when they shut shit down and everything, just everybody go off and do their thing. They should make New Year's that type of thing, because how the fuck do you expect people to enjoy the whole countdown and the New Year, the celebration of the whole thing, and people got work at fucking 3-4 o'clock in the morning?
Like, you shouldn't have to work. Trader Joe's closed on New Year's Day, ain't they? I think mine is. Let me see. I thought they was closed on New Year's Day. Let me check my schedule. Make sure.
If they're closed, yeah. They don't want to fuck around and not show up for work.
Yeah, I swear they close on New Year's Day.
If that's the case, then we should have no problem going out to do anything. But it's because, like, she said that she had work the next day.
Yeah.
So I think Trader Joe's is still open on New Year's Day.
I
If
can't remember.
if it's open, it could possibly be like the holiday times. They close at like 5 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that wouldn't really make any sense on why they would do that on actual New Year's Day.
Yeah,
Because
no, we
people are
closed on New
celebrating
Year's
at
Day.
midnight, not during
Yeah,
the
we're
day.
closed on New Year's Day. I thought that was one of the holidays they closed. Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving are the days that they closed.
I'll have to
We
double
closed
check.
early the night. Yeah, we closed early the night before. Like that Tuesday, she probably got to work. But yeah, that Monday we closed.
Huh.
Yeah.
The Monday, which is the day of that's January 1st.
Yeah. There ain't nobody like looking at my schedule. Or let me see. Let me double check this. But yeah, there ain't nobody scheduled to work that day at my job. So yeah, we're closed that day. She probably thinking it's on a Monday, and she probably got to be to work at 4 on Tuesday, but it's Sunday going into Monday.
I'll have to
Yeah.
figure that one out with her because that was one of the things because we got invited to a friend of ours for New Year's, but she was saying like, oh, we'll be there for a couple hours and stuff because we got work the next day and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm working that
if Trader
following
Joe's is actually
Sunday
closed, then
instead.
shit.
Yeah, because
It's
we're
party
closed that
time.
Monday, so I'm working that following Sunday, so I don't lose hours. Yeah, so we're closed.
Oh, so it's party time.
Yeah, yep. Trader Joe's is closed.
It's time to have a good time. All right. Let's see it. But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. The next show will be this Friday at 7 p.m. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and get people on the show. You talk football, whatever it is that we're gonna do, because I don't know what or how coherent I'm going to be on Friday. Because Friday is my birthday.
Oh shit! I didn't.
So December 22nd. That is my birthday. So that's what I'm saying. I might need to get a few people on the show because I might not be able to talk coherently too much that day. So we'll see how it goes. But everybody, be with us on Friday night as well as every other episode that we do every single week. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys for some of the patience for some of the days that we don't come on the show and stuff like that because of one thing or another. But regardless, Jaffo Army, PvP family, we love you guys so much. We appreciate you guys on every single level for hanging out with us and supporting us for all of these years and all this time. We will see you guys on Friday. For myself, JP, for the 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K, and for the greatest DJ in the entire fucking world, Mr. DJ Matchfix. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.